I'm a little salty this morning. Two just bad, shitty beats last night took away profit from us. Let's talk about those and get in some more bets for today. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Thursday edition of Winning Bets, where we get out free sports picks every single day. And as I teased there in the opener, I am definitely salty. Guys, I gave out 5 NBA prop bets yesterday. We were this close. This close to going for a sweep. We almost went 5-0. Then we almost went 4-1. Oh my gosh, we were so close. Then we ended up going 3-2 on those NBA props. Brutal. Just brutal, shitty bad beats. Let's just talk about the first one, Dort. We took Dort under 13.5 points. He had 7 points entering the fourth quarter. Doing pretty good, like I suspected. With 3 minutes and 37 seconds to go in the game, he was still at 7 points. Doing great. So in the last 3.5 minutes of that game, the Thunder would end up getting 11 points on 4 baskets. Yeah. Dort got 3 of those buckets and got 9 of those 11 points. Came out, hit a 3. Next time down, Thunder hit a 3. Then Al Horford got 2 points. And then if you've seen it with, I think it was 99-99 with 6 seconds to go. Thunder have the ball, attempting obviously the game-winning shot. They draw up a play for Horford. I've seen the replay. Draw it up for Horford. He drives into the paint. My man leaves Dort alone, wide open, in the corner of the 3 to go ahead and help double down on Al Horford. Horford makes the right decision. Instead of going 2-on-1, he kicks it out to a wide open Dort. Splashes it in for, his 9th point and his 16th point of that game, which screws just brutal beat. Research is on point. He's struggling all night, got 7 points, got 3.5 minutes to go, still stuck at 7 points, and then just pops off goes 3 for 3 from threes, gets 9 more points, and then ends the game with 16. Brutal beat right there. We had that one. We could have been profitable on the night. Obviously, if we had any of them, right? We went 3 and 4. If we have any one of those go 4 and 3, that's a profitable night. But in terms of NBA props, man, we're almost 4-1, 5-0. We did it Al Horford in that game. That bet cashed in the fourth quarter. Zion Williamson, he went way over his point total. I don't know what he ended up at. I stopped paying attention when I saw that he was at 30 points. So that was an easy cash as predicted. The Pistons can't defend the paint. They're absolutely terrible. Jared Allen, boy, did my eyes just light up with love when I saw the Rockets starting lineup. We talked about it on the show that if they try out Daniel House Jr. out of that center position, that Jared Allen would go off. That's exactly what they did. What are the Rockets doing? Like, how bad is that third string center that you're starting a 6'6" power forward at the center position to go up against any center, and especially Jared Allen, who's, coming up, he's going to be a big-time center in this game, over the next period, let's say 3 seasons. He's damn good. You got a 6'6" Daniel House. Boy, I'm telling you, we're going to have to keep monitoring that Rocket situation, because if they don't trust that third-string center, centers are just going to continue to eat. I don't know what Allen ended up with. That bet almost cashed in the first half. I think he got like 30. I don't know what it ended up at. I kept seeing it, and he was mid-20s, upper 20s. My man just went off. And then Sexton in that same game, just brutal, just a bad beat. Not like a brutal bad beat, but just a tough one. Ended the game with 23 points. We had over 24.5, so obviously he was 1 basket short. He took a 3 with 1:20 to go in the game. Obviously, he missed it. Otherwise, we'd be sitting here talking about a winner and not a loser, so he missed that. But overall, he started the game going 0 for 7. Just over 7. Obviously, he had a good matchup. He knew he had a good matchup. He was aggressive. He was taking shots and just wasn't hitting them early on. Started off going 0 for 7. I didn't think he could actually overcome that, to be honest. But he just kept shooting because he had the good matchup like we talked about here on the show. He had a very favorable matchup. In the end, clawed himself all the way back to give us, just 1 bucket short. Just brutal the way, he battles back, he grinds, and then he just falls 1 bucket short. Brutal. And then in the NBA, we took 2 unders. We took Wolves, Bulls. That game didn't go. That game went to overtime. That's the kiss of death for an under bet is overtime. But to be fair, even without overtime, that bet wouldn't have cashed. And then we took Raptors Heat. That one almost cashed, but a 67-point first quarter. If there wasn't 60, if they would have played the first quarter like they did, quarters 2, 3, and 4, we get a nice comfortable cash there. But unfortunately, no defense was played in the first quarter, 67 points, and you're in an uphill battle when you need under 214. So just kind of a rough night there with that Raptors Heat. Dort was just fucking brutal. Just fucking brutal is the only way to sum that up. It was brutal. And then Sexton. Just bad there. So, a little bit down on the day, down 1.4 units. Now we're a little bit down on the week, just under a unit. So, brutal, but still stayed within what I normally do in terms of research. Not going to push it today. You guys know I've never done that on any show. I don't push bets. I have however many bets I do, and the bets I give are just bets that I really like. So got some bets. I actually love the NBA slate today. Absolutely love it. Before we do get in the NBA slate, though, let me remind you, still got that NBC Sports Predictor League going on between golf and soccer, giving away $20 this week in the golf contest, $20 in the Premier League contest. You got to enter it the correct way. You got to enter it to where we can all see your scores, where we can all talk some smack, get in those leagues. The information to join those leagues is in this video description. You guys are playing along. Might as well just go ahead and join the league. Maybe you can get lucky one week and walk away with $20 in your pocket, courtesy of me hooking you guys up. So get in those leagues. And then also at the end of the show, Fox Bet Super 6's quiz show's got 2 questions that revolve around sports. That's where you can win $10,000 if you can correctly answer 6 questions. I'll give you the answer to the 2 sports-related questions at the end a little bit later on. Before I get on the NBA picks, I'm going to go ahead and give you my NASCAR head-to-head bets. I actually love these NASCAR head-to-head bets. I've got 3 this week, dialed it back a little week just because, I just don't reach, right? I did 5 in the first week, or last week, and just couldn't find 5 matchups that I love. I found 3, though, that I absolutely love. I'm going to go ahead and give you the first one. It's Austin Dillon over Bubba Wallace, minus 134 over DraftKings. Look, in terms of Homestead this weekend, where they'll be racing, this ranks as the number 1 track for Austin Dillon in terms of driver rating and performance. His driver rating of 85.6 is 28 points better than Bubba Wallace here at Homestead. Dillon's average finish is 8.67 at Homestead. Bubba Wallace's is 22.67. Dillon has got 2 top 10s, got 0 top 10s for Bubba Wallace. Again, it's Austin Dillon over Bubba Wallace, minus 134 over DraftKings. This one should not be close. Love Austin Dillon over Bubba Wallace. Next matchup we got here is Kyle Busch over Ryan Blaney. Again, minus 134 over DraftKings. Average finish for Kyle Busch is 3.67. Ryan Blaney's 10.33 here at Homestead. Driver rating for Kyle Busch is 115.9. Ryan Blaney comes in at 99.9. 2 top 5s for Busch, 1 for Blaney. 3 top 10s for Busch, 1 for Blaney. Again, it's Busch over Blaney, minus 134. Kyle Busch actually has the best average finish amongst all active drivers here at Homestead in recent races. So love it. It'll be tight just because it's Blaney, and Blaney's a really good driver in his own right, but Kyle Busch loves Homestead. The data backs it up that he's a really excellent driver here. So I do like Kyle Busch to come out on top though when it's all said and done. And then the last one, I absolutely love this one. It's Eric Jones over Matt DiBenedetto, plus 108 over DraftKings. You're getting plus money. This is going to be, I tell you what, this prop bet will really test how much car resources matter, because Eric Jones is now riding for Richard Petty Motorsports. And last year, the only driver that was under Richard Petty was Bubba Wallace, and he sucked. And he blamed it on the car resources. And yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, that's a legit, gripe that Bubba Wallace had, because Richard Petty is not anywhere near one of these good racing teams in NASCAR. I mean, they suck. They don't put in the resources, like these top teams do. But so you're getting the significantly better driver in Eric Jones. And I say in a worse car, but Matt DiBenedetto drives for Wood Racing. I mean, Wood Racing, they suck in their own right. So two racing teams that aren't all that great. Eric Jones is by far the better driver than Matt DiBenedetto. His average finish here at Homestead is about 3 spots better than DiBenedetto, but his driver rating is 22 points better. He's got 1 top 5. It does Eric Jones, and Matt DiBenedetto's best is in the top 20s from 11 to 20 on. It's Jones over Matt DiBenedetto at plus 108 over at DraftKings. Love that bet. Let's go Eric Jones. Not that starting position matters at an oval, but I mean, he's even like 20 spots better in terms of starting position. I mean, everything's Eric Jones. I think he can overcome Richard Petty Motorsports, because, while Bubba Wallace struggled for Richard Petty, Eric Jones is a way better driver than Bubba Wallace. I mean, we'll really see if Bubba Wallace can back up his talk, if he's going to be anything worth a damn this year. Because if he's not, then it's the driver at that point. But all right, so love those 3 NASCAR head-to-head bets. Just absolutely love those three. Go ahead and get those on with me, guys. We went, what did we go, 4-1 last? Yeah, 4-1 last week in NASCAR. So, all right, let's jump over now to the NBA. Good NBA slate. I think this got some really good favorable matchups for us to not have a nice bounce back. Man, I'm salty this morning. God, I'm just salty. I'm just salty. Damn you, Dort. Ripping profit away from me at the end. All right, first bet here. Nikola Vuvic. He's our guy. Over 28.5 points at minus 106 over FanDuel. Wizards defense. Second worst in defending the paint non-restricted area, allowing 48.2 field goal percentage. Eighth worst in defending the restricted area at 65.2 field goal percentage. They are the worst in defending the mid-range area at 45.6. They are 10th worst in defending within 10 feet at 58.1. And they're second worst within defended field goals percentages within 10 feet. And they're worst in defended field goals within 6 feet. What I mean on those last two is defended field goals within 10 feet and defended field goals within 6 feet is how they rate within a defender within 3 feet of you. So they rate worst within 6 feet and second worst within 10 feet. So basically what we're saying is there's not a defender within 3 feet of the center position, or the power forward. I guess it's paint. Of the power, I mean, how the hell are you going to block a shot or defend a shot if you're not even within 3 feet? The Wizards suck at defending within 10 feet, within 6 feet. The Wizards are allowing 70% field goal percentage and 58% field goal percentage to centers in the last 7 and the last 14. It's gotten better because the 70% is within the last 7. The Nuggets, they continue with a ton of injuries, so you obviously like that. That's why this number's inflated. It shouldn't be 28.5. It should probably be 27.5, but the Nuggets just continue with a ton of injuries. Somebody's got to score. You've seen Jokic. He has no problem carrying the team during this, injury stretch that they're doing. Because his average is 27 points. So that, I mean, yeah, it's inflated by a point, but not scared at all with the way he's playing. If you're scared of going over 28.5 points at minus 106 over at FanDuel with me, over at FanDuel, you can do player props, and up under player props, there's a player performance double. You can do Jokic have 25 plus points, but then the Nuggets have to win at minus 104. So I thought, okay, I mean, on the surface, it looks good. Nuggets -7, heavily favored team. But when you start tearing into the numbers, the Wizards and the Nuggets, they're about even on offense and defense. Wizards do a lot of things better than the Nuggets on offense and defense. So, yeah, I mean, while I think the Nuggets will win, like, to me, it's not a guarantee. And I think if the Nuggets are going to win the game, he's going to get over 28.5 points. So I didn't want to mess around and, doing a parlay and trying to, lower the points he has to score. You're only lowering it by 4. So you're lowering it by 2 buckets. 2 buckets or a couple trips to the, free throw. Like, not really lowering it by all that much. But now, and the Nuggets have to win. If that's a, parlay per se that you're willing to risk, go for it. It's at minus 104, so a touch better odds. But I'm not willing to risk it. I do think the Nuggets get the win, but I'm just not willing to risk it. So to me, it's Nikola Vuvic over 28.5 points. You can find that at minus 106 over at FanDuel. Got no problem riding a player that we know is just dynamite. Absolutely dynamite. All right, let's go ahead now. Let's look at this Clippers game. We're going to go ahead and look at Paul George. He's going to do over 3.5 threes at even money over at FanDuel. And then I'm going to double down with Paul George and do over 24.5 points. And that's at minus 104 over at FanDuel. Look, Paul George has gone over his total in 4 or 5 games in February. And he's averaging 28.2 points in the month of February. In terms of his three-pointers for power forwards, he's going over in 3 of his 5 games in February. And he's averaging 4 made three-pointers per game in February on 7 attempts. And Paul George shoots 48% from 3. All right, so let's go ahead and flip it over and look at that Grizzlies. You guys know my data, as always, takes into account recently. There's no point in handicapping NBA on season-long stats. You guys know trades, injury, COVID. I mean, guys are yo-yoing up and down the lineups. If you're handicapping stuff on season-long stats, well, more power to you, but you're probably losing a lot of bets. All right, so the Grizzlies defense recently, 7th worst at defending 3 above the break at 39.5%. They're the 5th worst at defending the corner 3 at 48.1%. They're the 3rd worst at defending the right corner 3 at 52.8%. And they're 10th worst at defending the left corner 3 at 43.9%. They're also allowing 52% field goals to shooting guards, which ranks in the bottom 3rd. And they're allowing 6.8 made three-pointers per game to shooting guards. That is worse in the league. And yes, Paul George is a shooting guard. I wouldn't be talking about it. So we're going to do Paul George over 3.5 threes at even money at FanDuel, and Paul George over 24.5 points at minus 104 at FanDuel. All right, let's keep on moving along. Let's go look at Julius Randle now, over 24.5 points and minus 104 over FanDuel. He's cashed in 4 straight and in 6 and 11 games in February, and he had 1 miss in those 11 games, or in those 5 misses where he had 24 points. So yeah, he was right on the number. He got 26 points earlier this season versus the Kings. He's averaging 25 points in the month of February. Kings defense, you ready for it? Because we know it sucks. We've faded the Kings defense a lot lately. Second worst in defending within 6 feet at 63% field goal percentage. Second worst in defending within 10 feet at 59% field goal percentage. And second worst in defending within the restricted area at 70%. My man Julius Randle should have him a very monster game in the paint. Go ahead and take Julius Randle over 24.5 points, minus 104 over FanDuel. We're going to take an under. Let's go ahead and go back to the unders. They're sweats, but boy, they're a lot of fun when they cash. Hell, the overs are fun too when they cash. But we can't ignore this one here. It's Buddy Hield under 17.5 points, and that's minus 120 over a FanDuel. This bet is cashed in 7 of 12 games in February. He's only averaging 15 points per game in February. He only shoots 34% from field goal, and he shoots 30% from 3. Buddy, he takes 51% of his shots from 3 above the break, and he's only making 30%. The Knicks allow 35% made buckets from above the 3, which is 12th best in the league. Buddy takes his second most attempted buckets are from the corner 3, where he only shoots 29%. The Knicks are number 1 in defending the corner 3, allowing 28%. Buddy's best percentage base comes from the left corner 3, shooting 45%, while the Knicks are second best in defending the left corner 3 position, only allowing 29%. The Knicks are 8th best in defending the mid-range jumper at 37.4%, and the Knicks in their last 7 are top 3 in points allowed to shooting guards at 13.8 points, and field goal percentage is also top 3, and they only allow 31.3%. To me, it's Buddy Hield under 17.5 points, and you can find that at minus 120 over FanDuel. All right, a couple things here to put on your radar. Haven't quite pulled the trigger yet. One of them is Valanciunas. His point total, it has not been populated. He's going up against that Clippers defense. They're 6th worst in defending within 6 feet, 8th worst within defending within 10 feet, 10th worst in defending the restricted area, and 13th worst for defending the paint non-restricted area. And they allow 57% field goals to centers in the last 7 and the last 14. So just need to see what Valanciunas' number falls into. He's averaging 16 points. If they put it at 17.5, like it's been a lot recently, that's a bet that I'll likely jump on. The other one is Nicola Vuvic. He's got a great matchup going up against the Nets. We know the Nets can't defend the center position, but I'm scared of a blowout. I mean, the Magic could absolutely get blown out by the Nets. So even if that number falls within range, I mean, I've just got to really, really love it. I mean, yeah, the Nets guys have potential to blow out, and I don't know if I want to, go up against a Nets team that can blow out the Magic. So that one scares me. And then the other thing I am kind of considering is Joel Embiid versus the Mavs. This is a classic. What do you value? Season-long stats or recent trends? Because season-long stats would suggest Joel Embiid can, have a fairly decent night, maybe get in the upper 20s, maybe he can touch, maybe low 30s in terms of his points. That's if you look at the season total, but I don't see how you can put value in that because of guys yo-yoing up and out of the lineup, due to COVID and injury-related issues and what have you not. Trades impact stuff as well. So if you look at the last 14 days, Mavs are defending the center position a hell of a lot better. And they do better actually when Porzingis isn't on the court. He's questionable going in tonight. When Willie Cauley-Stein's on the court, he's a much better defender than Porzingis. So you don't really know if Porzingis is going to play. So that impacts me with going to Joel Embiid. And they've just been doing a good job defending the centers. I did look up recently in that 2-week stretch, see who the Mavericks been playing at the center position. To be fair, maybe the number is a little bit low because they haven't been going up against good centers, or at least centers of Embiid's talent. Embiid's an MVP, or at least in the MVP discussion. They did hold Clint Capella, which is a guy that we rode recently there against the Celtics. There recently got a couple cashes there against them. They held him to I think it was 6 points, and I think I saw 12 or 13 points. So they held him. But overall, they haven't been going up against the caliber of centers as Embiid is going to step on the court. So that one just makes me nervous because if I make that bet, it'll be going against what I really believe in, which is recent data. So not quite sure I'll pull the number on Joel Embiid. Let's kind of see. Let's hold out for that one. But those are 3 bets I'm considering to go with. The ones that I absolutely, obviously love, and I've already bet them. And if I just gave them to you there. So let's jump on in and out of the Fox Bet Super 6 app. You can win $10,000. 2 questions are related to sports. The first one, I'm going to go ahead and take Kyle Busch. Look, he's right behind Hamlin. He's number 2 at this track. He's led the most laps behind Hamlin as well. They didn't give us Hamlin on this question, or I would have answered it Hamlin. So, hey, no Hamlin. Give me the next best, driver on this track. It's Kyle Busch. So it's a no-brainer. You answer it, Kyle Busch there for number 1. And number 2, I'll go ahead and say Roy McIlroy. You guys know from the NBC Sports Predictor app that, I think he has the most potential to maybe not do as all that great. And that's based on that research. So, of the golfers they give you selected, I'll agree with the people here. The majority says Roy McIlroy, and I do believe the people are right. So we'll go ahead and answer that one, Roy McIlroy there. So that's how we'll do it. All right, guys, that's all. Let's just have a cool day. How many bets we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 bets. Let's have us a day. We're so close to having just a fantastic day. Let's do that today. Let's have this fantastic day. Go ahead and hit that like button yesterday. I know, guys, yesterday wasn't profitable yet, but it's not from a lack of work and trying. We're close. Like I said, we almost went 4-1 yesterday. We almost went 5-0 yesterday on those NBA player props. Go ahead and hit that like button. We're going to have a nice bounce back day, and I want you guys to be a part of it. All right, guys, I'll see you on Friday's show. Have a good one.
Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.